Pro Wrestling Noah has the we gonna get there. Pro Wrestling Noah has their January 1st show, Noah the New Year. It's a tag team match for the GHC heavyweight tag team titles. Marufuji and Segura is going to be taking on Jay Morris and X Challenger. Today, Thursday, they dropped the video. I don't know what was said, 'cause I didn't see a translation for the video.
Oh.
Don't you dare be sour.
No. That
No, but it wasn't that at all. There was a video. They were, matter of fact, let me get the quotes that I saw that people were saying online. They said that Omos has been teased as the biggest potential wrestler X candidate in their history of Noah. He was briefly added to the Noah roster page and then was totally taken off, which feels like you're going to see him wrestling in Japan next week. But I was because I had to do a little bit of research, because I remember it was over the summer. The Great Muta was, because the Great Muta, when the company that owns Pro Wrestling Noah and a couple of other wrestling companies, and they own the streaming company that owns them. They said early this year, we're trying to be closer in a working relationship with the WWE. And they had the Great Muta installed as an advisor over there. And back in August, Muta said, hey, somebody asked Muta, they said, who you want to see from WWE or somebody over in Noah? He said, Omos. So when hearing this news today that Omos may be installed in that tag match in a week, it all seems like it's gonna make sense. But I mean, like, for y'all, Brother Fam, how did you? What was your initial reaction when you saw the? Because you may have been the first one to bring it to the chat that Omos may be going over to Japan.
I was really happy to see Omos doing something.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I think the one article I said he hasn't wrestled since competing in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal before Mania 40.
2 years ago?
No, that was April of this year. But it's been like 8 months.
I don't recall him wrestling this year.
It's not been. It may have been that Battle Royal. I don't know how many matches he had before that, but let me see what cage match has, because it couldn't have been too much.
The last time, to be honest with you, the last time I think I was about to see him in action was when he was ready to whip Cuz ass.
That's funny.
That was a friendly conversation.
He did it was SmackDown was the at the Wells Fargo Center for the Battle Royal for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He did he was wrestling Odyssey Jones and Akira Tozawa on a bunch of house shows, but the last time we saw him on TV before that was the Rumble early this year. And then he did hella house shows, and before that, and then we saw him at the Battle Royal at SummerSlam last year. He's not been in the mix at all. So this worked. Yeah, and before that, he was doing a couple of he lost to Brock Lesnar. He beat Elias. Like, he had a couple of matches, but he really ain't been doing shit for like 2 years. So yeah, I think what Fam says is the underlying theme of that, him being able to go over there and do something.
Yeah,
is dope.
Cuz is right about that. Just to do something, get some kind of reps in. That's the big thing. You want him to improve, but he's not getting any ring work in.
It's also a place that could happen. Like, I think
right.
Japan,
they've always respected like a big guy too. Like, they've always kind of been in the market for like specifically the big American known horse.
Well, you know what's funny? Like, there's been a lot of people that, and I mean this is gonna feel so left, but I'm gonna get to the point in a second. We've been seeing a lot of people getting added to the bloodline. We saw Donnie Marlowe, we saw Tama Tonga. I hate that I'm calling Donnie Marlowe, but that was his name in NXT a while ago. Tonga Loa. But Hikuleu's been a person that people like, yo, he been waiting in the wings, but he's also like not. I don't want to even say like he's a big man. He tall. He like and compared to a lot of the roster, a lot of these people are much taller and they don't really fit. We were offline talking about, well, because I think outside of this Noah situation, and mind you, Noah used an image of Omos with MVP as his manager, pointing to him like that's the only other connection we've had with him in the last couple of years. And the question is always, could Omos, if WWE didn't work, if clearly Triple H or whoever didn't see it for him, is there any what is the road for Omos in AEW? Is there anything he can do down there, or you think it's a wrap?
He could be the Hurt Business heater.
You think he could be there, like the Sid Vicious in the Four Horsemen?
Sitting in the background.
He can't be a world champion.
No.
Not down there.
Not, I mean, anywhere.
I don't want to say that. Not anywhere.
Anywhere North American.
He may. The way that, see, the thing with Omos right now, because he's actually in a really, he would be the Satnam Singh for the Hurt Syndicate. You're right, D Bullock. Shout out to D. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. AEW's not really. AEW's got so much going on with smaller, more agile, athletic performers that are going to give you that work rate, going to give you them 7-star matches. The Omoses, the Satnam Singhs, the Miros, the Brian Cages. It's only so much work for them down there. I don't know how long Omos is, because like Omos goes to Noah. How long is he over in Japan? A year or two?
It depends on what his.
I
It
think
depends on how he looks over there.
You think 2025 we could probably be seeing him grabbing like a GHC title and being like a black gaijin for over there for a couple months?
It depends.
Yeah, see, I think he would be just like an attraction, like somebody they would just have there, and then he come back home.
To do anything? Like he comes back home after that shine and
Get the cologne out.
like I would hope that it could. My hope is that it could turn into something, but I don't know if there's something that it can turn into. You feel me?
He gonna have to shake it up over there for it to turn into something here.
And the problem is he's a guy that they'd have to book to do whatever.
There and here, you're saying?
Like there specifically, like they would have to be like, this is what you're gonna do for them to be able to use it. Because it's just like that thing, like when you I think it was Vince talking to Brock when he was like, you can go over there, but if you lose, nigga, I can't do nothing with a loser.
Right. You gotta come back as a success.
Right. Like nigga, we can't just be throwing out, testers, and if you fail the test, nigga, you just fail. Ain't nothing I could do over it. But see, that's the thing. So could they be like, we'll send him, but he has to win?
I mean, I think it's like we'll send him like Bob Sapp. I think you send him over there and see what the reaction is. Because it's not like he's the first person to be in Noah. They've had Shinsuke over there. AJ's been over there. I think there's been some NXT talent that have been over there. They have they're trying to establish a working relationship with the WWE. If they're putting words into the media like he could be the biggest challenger in the history or whatever, like it sounds like they want. And if Muda is somebody that is already expressed interest in him being over there, I feel like this could be the window for him to make a real impact. But I think, like y'all said, like Mimi says, you once you get the rock, you really have to score. You really have to take that moment and make it yours. Because if he goes over there, it's just Omos from a couple years ago, we may never see him.
He was also he was one of those people where you saw him every day in the hallway. So right, so he was
Literally, yeah.
top of mind for even the higher ups.
Word.
So it felt like they kept saying, "Well, do something with him." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Put him
like
on TV, yeah.
And he was a ninja. He was AJ Styles heavy. He was with.
That was his best role.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's why I think the Noah, and I mean, not to cut you off, fam.
But no, they were just doing a bunch of stuff. That was my point.
Well, I think that's why it's interesting, though, because AJ's been one of the guys that's been going over there. I mean, like, even after whatever happens here, and they're establishing him as a tag team person, you could have an AJ Omos situation over there the next time they do this. You know, it's the beginning of the year for Japan. I feel like New Japan, Noah, they have multiple things going on at the beginning of the year. There's probably a number of different spots where he could be slotted into, not just in a week, but over the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of months, if they really wanted to develop him.
They could, I mean, if to like what we were speaking to earlier, even if they didn't put him with the Hurt Business to make him a heavy over there, put him in whatever situation with Don Callis. He's another guy that will get anybody over. But he's not going to be a guy that wrestles every week. That's not what he, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He is
That's a problem,
the
though.
definition of an attraction in pro wrestling when pro wrestling doesn't have many attractions.
See, my problem with that is we've seen main man with
I'm saying, yeah.
Satnam Singh.
We've seen him, and I don't recall him ever getting in the ring. And I think that's one of the problems. He can't not.
Who was he with? He was with a group, right?
He was with Sanjay Dutt.
Jeez. He was with Sanjay Dutt.
Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal. And they were on for a good amount of time prior. You know what I mean? When AEW was still getting their feet wet. They were on weekly. You know what I mean? So, but you still didn't see Shotgun Singh.
Well, no, and you wouldn't use him. First of all, main man Saddam Singh was in a terrible group. Like,
correct.
What I'm telling you is there are two amazing talkers in AEW and two really good wrestling minds, specifically MVP and Don Callis.
Right.
I think there could be something done, but he's not. It's wherever he goes in North America, he's not going to be the guy who, if he were to leave, because he's not leaving, it doesn't appear. Now, it did a bit ago because he was in that goddamn where's Omos at? Like, he wasn't even in the background. None of the stuff they doing backstage. Like, he's at the house. So what do we? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. I thought he was gone.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all thought he was gone.
But I think when you do this, right? When you have somebody call and be like, "Yo, we want to use Omos," that does the one thing in pro wrestling. They be like, "Oh, people want him. He can go, but he's ours." FYI. So now is okay. Let me make sure he don't go nowhere.
Getting a call from Muda is.
Well, I will say this: Omos getting a call. Omos getting a call from Muda sounds way more promising than Omos being on AEW. I was just looking at the 29 matches that Satnam Singh has had in 2024.
He wrestled this year?
12 of those matches
every other week.
12 of those matches were dark matches for AEW. He's wrestled every match he's wrestled in December. Actually, yeah, every match he's wrestled December this year, the 3 times he's wrestled, has been dark matches before Dynamite at the last couple of weeks. He did the same thing, and he had 1 match in November, 1 match in October. He's probably been on TV more in AAA than he has on AEW. Since August, he's been doing dark matches for AEW. Omos is in a good spot right now. Stay over there in Noah. Be be the biggest X challenger. Be the number one black guy. Do whatever you got to do. Hopefully, you can get a better position in Braun Strowman running around the ring or getting tsunami through a car. This could be very promising. I just hope there's a thought for Omos for 2025.
You on Omar's side now?
That's not bad. That is not bad.
I like the potential of this situation. And I will say this.
Just say yes, maybe.
No. Because the thing is he still got to put the work in and get out on the other side. Like, he's at where Tuco Scorpio was how many decades ago? Going out in the world, going on. This is an excursion for him. He's signed to WWE. They want him to get more work in, so they sending him over to Japan. This is his first major excursion. He got to get the work in.
All right, we'll see. That's a good thing, though.
It's there's so much potential. Shout out Anakin and Vader, peace of the gods. There's so much
getting that placement on that Sky Zoo.
There's so much I gotta listen to.
Sky got a album release and shit too next month. Shout out to the God.